Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears, and the San Francisco 49ers.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the San Francisco 49ers. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bears take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Jackson from the shotgun. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 19.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We'll look now at the defensive starting lineup for the 49ers. And they've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Check 31, check 31.
loss of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tyree Jackson keeping it himself from a yard out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Let's go!
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Play action. It's Jackson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Telvin Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement.
And he's going to go down again. Trey Hendrickson in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Handoff, Coleman, right side. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Jackson. And Ingram holds it in. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But
and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tevin Coleman. His 21st touchdown of the season as the Bears push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just 1 sentence for that one. Clinic.
And now it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball.
That's up. That's up.
So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They go play action now. Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Oh, nice move. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take,
Here we go.
make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. It's complete to Fuller. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. He's letting this one. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Chicago. Will Fuller, his 17th touchdown now on the season as the Bears push further out in front. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this 1st half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Robinson's got it. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No 1st down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. Still on his feet. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it. Touchdown, Chicago! Tevin Coleman. Touchdown number 22 on the season as the Bears push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. The point after is good, and a rout is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Running with Howard. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
This is Howard on second down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Jackson to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Trey Hendrickson in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Returnable here from the 38. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson finds his tight end Ingram. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare first down. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. It's caught by Coleman. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a 1st down. Again, Jackson, the quick slant caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Will Fuller, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The extra point up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
On 2nd down, it's Howard. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a 1st down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start.
That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Chicago. John Ross, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches, and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Jackson. Open man is Trey Burton. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Howard. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And what is going on here? Are they serious? 1st down, and they're in punt formation. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before this worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Jackson now. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed in the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
From the 27, Jackson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have.
Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There, the 49ers getting set to trot out there. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Fletcher Cox able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
To try again after the sack. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the...
Under pressure, they got him again. Fletcher Cox. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Jackson, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Returnable for Grant. Still fighting. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now Jackson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Willie Henry able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Here's Coleman on the toss. Able to slither by, and he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throwing is Jackson. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it's 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And what is going on here? I've got 3rd down. Screen shows 3rd down, but they've got the punt team out there. He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Coleman. Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Second and 9 at the 35-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson completes it to Coleman. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 14 yards and a Chicago first down. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
They will run again with Coleman. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Jackson breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Jackson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson brought in over the middle by Graham. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is alive. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 40, 20, 10, and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point, and that touchdown there, it's not going to get him a win. It makes things a little more respectable.
Yeah, a little more palatable going out in this ball game, a little something to build on going into the next game, but it won't alter the final score.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Taking it about the 36. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bears take over. So now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. The 20, 10, 5. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. And remember, he had 1 blocked earlier. And his kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by. But that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far. But it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style.